Thank you for listening to Inspired and Admired.
Thank you for listening to Inspired and Admired. My name is Matt Truman. Today, my guest is Linda Morin. She is running for the Ward 5 seat in the city of Huber Heights. She will be going up against Mark Campbell, November 7th, 2017. Folks, please get out to the polls and vote. That's why I am doing these podcasts, so you folks have another opportunity to hear from your candidates. The way I see it, you never can have too much opportunity to hear and understand where the person who is going to represent you comes from, where their positions are, where they see the city going. That's why we're doing it. We have a few podcasts before this. We have at least 2 more coming up. If you have the opportunity to share this with a neighbor, share this with a friend, please do. Help get the word out. And yeah, are you looking for an activity this weekend? Well, September 30th, October 1st, I have the perfect activity for you. Well, this weekend, the Huber Heights Family Fall Fest is taking place. September 30th, October 1st, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday, noon to 6 p.m. Lots of activities for the kids, lots of free activities for the kids. Stop on out to the Huber Heights Family Fall Fest. There will be a booth set up. They're called the Huber Heights Veterans Project. It's a group of citizens who've banded together to raise money to build a veterans memorial in Huber Heights. So stop by the booth, check them out, get some information on what they plan to do. Help support the organization. You can buy a t-shirt, a koozie, a bracelet. That helps support the organization. 100% of the proceeds goes directly toward the organization. Everyone working at the booth, everyone working behind the scenes are complete 100% volunteers. In fact, many of them put in their own money to help further the project. So yeah, stop by the Huber Heights Fall Fest, enjoy yourself, swing by the booth, grab a sweet t-shirt. They got a couple dry fit shirts, some long sleeve shirts, koozies to keep your cold beers clean. To keep your cold beers cold. Anywho, yeah, there's that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this podcast. Once again, share it with a friend if you can. And, all right, without further ado, we're going to go right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, here is myself with Linda Morin, candidate for Ward 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Linda Morin. She is running for Ward 5 in the city of Huber Heights. She'll be going up against Mark Campbell in the November 7th, 2017 election. Ms. Morin, thank you for joining Inspired and Admired.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Great. So, well, first, I'd like to ask you and let the folks know a little bit about yourself, where you come from, family, background, things like that.
Well, my husband was career Air Force. We're actually from upstate New York, fairly close to Canada.
Oh, okay.
We've had 2 tours in Europe. We were stationed. We had one of those hardship tours, Myrtle Beach, while there was still an Air Force base there. He did a tour of recruiting in our hometown, and we were even stationed out west. Our last assignment before Wright Pat was Germany. We probably would have stayed longer. We loved it there, but they announced the base closure, and so we headed back here. And like a lot of military families, even though we have deep roots where we're from, my family was one of the original settlers to the area. Well, minus the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have strong roots where we're from, but after a while, as a military family, home is where your household goods are.
Right.
And Dayton seemed a wonderful place to retire. It was a small town feel with a lot of the larger city cultural opportunities. The Philharmonic, Victoria Theater. This goes back a ways. We came in 1990. And if it didn't exist in Dayton, then it existed in Columbus, Cincinnati, or even over in Indianapolis. So
Right.
when we arrived, we immediately hit the ground looking for a place to live. Actually, for a place to buy, because we knew he had 1 year left before he would be retiring. And his sponsor pointed us towards Huber Heights, and we looked everywhere from Cloud Park up to what then was just being, fairly new in the development off of Shell Road, the Gate.
Yes.
We looked along Bell Fountain, and we looked over in the Rustic Woods area. And we found our house, and we are in Ward 5. I can look into Cloud Park from my front yard and fell in love with the area, the mature trees. The original owners of the home next door still owned it at that time. She just died a year ago. So there are a lot of just great neighbors. And we just fell in love with Huber Heights. Now, our intent was to stay there 3 to 5 years and find out where we really wanted to live and then move. Well, we found out we really wanted to live in Huber Heights. And
Nice.
so we have been in that same house, even though our jobs have taken us from one end of the Miami Valley to the other. We've stayed in our home.
Good deal. Good deal. So, moving up to the present, what made you decide to run for city council?
Well, last fall, I was talking to my husband, and I told him, if I had any idea even how to do it, I would run, because I think, like a lot of our citizens, we just trust that our elected officials are doing what's best for the city as a whole and for us as residents. But I began to doubt that. And as I was looking at some of the things going on, I just felt that maybe someone with some deeper ties into Ward 5, someone who understood the people of Ward 5, would be a better voice for us. We seem to be neglected down at our end, and I don't know that that's by design. It's not an accusation, but I believe it. We are just not on the larger radar.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
So I thought that if maybe a Ward 5 resident that I did not even know that there is a name for those of us that live in some of the original Huber homes, but we are brickers. Did not know that. And I thought maybe if someone who was a bricker and had lived there and had some experience that would perhaps benefit the ward and the city, that I might have a chance of making a positive impact.
Yeah, great. So what are some things that you think Huber needs to work on, some things that you would like to work on? Yes.
Well, I think one of the first things, because of our experiences, our relationship with Wright-Patt Air Force Base. You don't see the number of military people moving into Huber Heights that you used to. It used to be pretty much the place that active duty would buy, because the property values were stable, the schools were respected, homes there did not stay on the market very long. So if you got orders, you were going to be able to sell your home and move on to your next duty station. Part of that, I think, is a result of our city's image. So I think if we could improve our image and work on our relationship with the Air Force Base and the people of the Air Force Base, I think that would help us.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need attention on businesses. our existing businesses. I think we have to have a better relationship with our business community. I cannot give you any particulars, just some business owners that I've reached out to that do not feel that the city has a real, as a whole, has a concern for their well-being. And then bringing in new businesses and businesses that will provide incomes that a family can live on.
Sure.
You have to have skill sets. You know, we have the Miami Valley Career Technical Center that not only trains our young people, but trains adults. You know, I think that we have Sinclair. There is nothing more affordable than Sinclair if you're looking for college. So I think we have a lot to offer businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of, I'd like to see someone whose sole responsibility is an economic development director. Mm-hmm. I know we have city staff that are picking up those responsibilities, but they also have other responsibilities. And I think we if we want to grow, and I know we're landlocked, but we're not so landlocked. We couldn't fit in a few more businesses. Have someone there that's selling us. You know, when I came here in 1990 and went to work for a business in Dayton, their selling point to their customers was, we sit at the crossroads of America. We have some of the most reasonable shipping costs because of where we sit. Well, that stands true today. And
right.
We're extremely close to that interchange. So we should have the opportunity to offer that to businesses. But when someone is stretched thin, and I know our city staff, some are stretched so very thin with the different hats that they wear.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to go looking for new responsibilities in developing a new business in the city when you're already stretched so that thin. I'd also like to see a full-time grant writer. I know we have a very talented person who is doing grant writing, but again, it is not their only responsibility. And if you're going to bring in economic development to help to fund some of that development, there are grants out there. And so having someone who does nothing but research those and is trained in writing grants
sure.
Is very important. I have a relative that was a mayor of a small town and tried to write grants and just failed horribly.
Yeah, it's pretty
found
detailed.
Out that his city was, I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said it.
Found out
it's very detailed.
Well, yes, and he found out his city was eligible for using the resources of a larger organization. And this was a very small town, and I cannot tell you the number of millions of dollars that this extremely small town got towards a sewer system. I can't remember all that it was, but it was a good bit of money for what is, would be at best a neighborhood in Huber Heights. Mm-hmm. So if you know someone who does know how to do it, you've got a very good chance of getting some of those grants. And that would just help us, being able to take the burden off of our taxpayers and putting some of those grants to use without asking taxpayers for more money to fund the development solely on their backs.
Right. What are some things that you believe Huber Heights is doing well right now?
Well, our people. We just have some of the best people in the world. You know, Match are a great example of that with the Veterans Memorial Project.
Thank you.
And, you know, we have the fish pantry, and I hate to even start to mention organizations that we have that are reaching out, helping people. Tim Hart of it, the I-70 paintball, just sent us him and the lady that I believe actually started the drive to help the hurricane victims, just sent a second tractor trailer load of aid out.